Ba-da-da-da-dum-bum. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Bum, bum. Hey, I was asked a question. It spurred me on to make a video. Someone says, like, what's the one thing I don't have you think I really, really should have? I was like, that's a really good idea for a video. The one thing I'm certain that 98% of you don't have, but you should have, let's say you don't have a nice monitor, or let's just say you got a monitor that isn't color balanced, right? It's like, well, it looks good on your monitor, and someone else is like, man, these pictures look pink. You send them off to get printed. It's like, wow, you spend all that time in Lightroom. Yeah, okay. You edited them, and the prints come back, and then you complain to the people that printed them, and they're like, man, what happened? Your printing sucks. And it's like, no, our stuff is highly precisely, high precision, color corrected all the time. And you're like, damn, they probably are. So something screwed up. There's a really important word I keep telling everybody because I used to teach archery and it applies to everything. ARC. Absolute repeatable consistency. The one thing that I'm certain 98% of you people don't have in your old camera bag is this right, nyah. And by the way, these things have basically turned into half off everywhere. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they used to be $100 all day long, every year, $100 for this damn thing. Now they're basically $50 everywhere. What's going on? No idea. But they've suddenly got a lot cheaper. So that's good news for you. Yeah. What's so important about these? Oh my god, you can actually add warming tones, cooling tones, and look right down here, we got white balance. Like if you're going to take a shot of somebody, outdoors, indoors, whatever you do, hold it, take one picture, boom, click, put it away, take some shots. White balance, use your eyedropper in Lightroom, white balance everything, boom. Even if your monitor is not perfectly balanced, and I'm sure that it isn't, at least you will have the correct white balance set in applying the white balance to your pictures. Especially if they go off to print. I mean, it's like, oh my god, I got expensive camera gear and expensive lenses, and it's like, oh, I drove 100 miles to shoot a wedding and they paid me thousands of dollars, and then I used my big monitor, which probably wasn't really that color balanced. It wasn't. You know it wasn't. It isn't. And I send the images off to get printed, and oh my god, they look like crap. Everybody looks pink. The one thing you ain't got in your camera bag, and there's working hard and there's working smart. There's a lot of people that sit there all the pictures, and they'll just like, oh no, what's white balance? What's white balance? What's white balance? It'll just picture after picture. What's white balance? What's white balance? What's white balance? It's like, well, why don't you just take it? There are a lot of stuff to focus on. People aren't paying you to spend 4 hours trying to correct white balance in all the various shots. No, they're not. Whatever sort of lighting conditions change, drop this in the scene, get there ahead of time. It's like, I know I'm going to be shooting here, turn the lights on, okay, stick this in the scene, okay? That way you have a point of reference. Absolute repeatable consistency, arc. Over on the other side, we have another big white balance right there. You can just have them hold that up if you just want to use that for white balance. I've got a gray card over here. Here I had warming tones and cooling tones. Very, very useful. You can actually just apply a 3 shades or 2 shades or 1 shades of warming or cooling, depending on the composition that you want, to your shots. Apply to all or apply to whatever you want. Middle gray right there. White balance right here. This is not in your camera bag, but it should be. If you ever taken pictures of people, dogs, pets, I mean, I'm not saying this is not something you take to do street photography, okay? Don't be stupid. This is not something you take. You don't stick this out in front of the moose, then back up 1,000 yards to take a picture of the moose. No, I'm not saying that, for God's sakes. I know someone's going to say, well, yeah, that's not practical for sports action. I never said this was for sports action and wildlife. Portraiture, weddings, product photography, corporate, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I got some super expensive camera gear. I don't care. Whatever it is you think that it's like, well, you know what mixed lighting is, too? A lot of times when you're shooting places, there's mixed lighting. Fluorescent, incandescent, blah, 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 blah. Studio strobe, speed light. You're going to guess at it? You're going to wing it? Just open this up, stick it in the shot, move it out of the way, then continue your shooting. And then when you go into Lightroom, you just take your eyedropper and Shazam! White balance. There it is right there. No more guessing. Even Even if you've got all that right to get to your computer, I guarantee your monitor isn't perfect. This, however, is super precise and perfect. So even if your monitor is way the hell off, okay, way the hell off, okay, you apply this to all, the white balance is set. So why don't you have one of these? That's exactly right. Work smarter, not harder. People that bought these off my recommendation, like, oh my god, you're right, I saved so much time now, I should have been using this thing for, you know. I was like, yeah, I told you so. Told you so. You know what? I've never heard any of the other, excuse me, I've never, you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? I've never heard any of these other YouTube photographers, at least the top 10 of them, mention this or use this in anything that they shoot. I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why. Bye. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.